For those that don't know, this is the guy, Keontae, that went to the date night with Jackson, Nia Jackson, unannounced, okay? Well, alleged unannounced, but here we go.
Why did you come to Nashville?
I came down here for school.
And what school was that?
Mahary Medical College.
And what medical degree are you pursuing?
Doctor of Dental Surgery.
Doctor of Dental Surgery.
Where'd you go to undergrad?
Grambling State University.
And when did you graduate from there?
I graduated in fall of 2021.
And when did you begin dental school?
I began dental school fall of 2023.
When you came to Nashville, did you already know anyone here?
No, new person in town.
Did you live on campus or close to the Mahary campus?
Did not live on campus, but I'm in close approximation to campus, yes.
What is your current status as a student at Mahary?
I'm going into my 4th year of dental school.
And how much longer is there to go?
A few more months.
When you came to Nashville, as you told us, you didn't know anyone here. Did you meet fellow dental students and or other people here in Nashville?
Yes, sir. Met quite a few people.
And was one of those individuals J.L. Jackson?
Yes, sir.
How did you come to know her?
Hanging out with different people in our class. Went out a couple times, got lunch, things like that, and then we developed a friendship.
Was she also a student at Mahary?
Yes, sir.
In the dental school?
Yes, sir.
Was she still in the dental school?
Yes, sir.
Oh, thanks, actually.
Did you come to know at any time a young lady named Jay Benson?
Yes, sir.
And how did that come about?
Through being friends with Najee, just, I guess, developed like a mutual friendship in that sense.
Did you know Jay Benning prior to being introduced through to J.L. Jackson?
Never met her a day in my life.
So, did you know anything about her other than perhaps?
So he just testified that he had never met Jade a day of his life prior to his friend Nija introducing them.
What Ms. Jackson may have told you.
Only thing I knew about her is what was provided to me through Ms. Jackson.
You recall, I'm not asking specific dates, but approximately when you would have met Ms. Benning for the first time?
If I got here in 2022, became friends with Najee approximately 4 months after I moved here in September. Let's say I started to know Jade like beginning of 2023, maybe like February-ish of 2023.
And on how many occasions prior to the date we're going to talk about here in a minute, February the 25th, 2023, how many times approximately would you have seen Ms. Benning?
No more than 2 or 3.
And was that ever just you and Ms. Benning?
Never.
And what sort of settings?
We would be like in a group setting. Yeah, never alone, never personal hangouts, anything of that nature.
Have you ever been to her apartment?
No, not until that day.
Until the day we're going to talk about?
Yes, sir.
Had you ever communicated with her via text, email, or?
I don't even believe I had her number. I don't think I even had her number.
Now, did you know anyone named Blaise Taylor?
All right, hold on 1 second, y'all. Hold on 1 second.
And was that ever just you and Ms. Benning?
Never.
And what sort of settings?
We would be like in a group setting. Yeah, never alone, never personal hangouts, anything of that nature.
Have you ever been to her apartment?
No, not until that day.
Until the day.
Let's go back a little bit. What do you?
I'm not asking specific dates, but approximately when you would have met Ms. Benning for the first time.
If I got here in 2022, became friends with Najee approximately 4 months after I moved here in September. Let's say I started to know Jade like beginning of 2023, maybe like February-ish of 2023.
And on how many occasions prior to the date we're going to talk about here in a minute, February the 25th, 2023, how many times approximately would you have seen Ms. Benning?
No more than 2 or 3.
And was that ever just you and Ms. Benning?
Never.
And what sort of settings?
We would be like in a group setting. Yeah, never alone, never personal hangouts, anything of that nature.
Have You've never been to her apartment?
No, not until that day.
Until the day we're gonna talk about?
Yes, sir.
Had you ever communicated with her via text, email, or?
I don't even believe I had her number. Yeah, I don't think I even had her number.
Did you know anyone named Blaise Taylor prior to February the 25th of 2023?
No, sir.
Had you ever heard that name before?
Heard of him, but never was familiar with him. I didn't even know what he looked like.
And what was the context of knowing the name?
Simply just knew that this is who Jade was soon to be having a child with.
And again, did you receive that information straight from Ms. Benning or through Ms. Jackson?
No, through Miss Jackson.
Let's move on to February the 25th, 2023. Do you recall the events of that day?
Yes, sir.
And prior to the evening, do you recall anything about what you were doing during the daytime?
I believe that day we had just left the library from like studying. I know, yeah, we had just left campus from studying.
And who was we?
Myself and Najee.
So y'all were fellow students?
Yes, sir.
Same class?
Yes, sir.
Same courses?
Everything.
Okay. So we'll pick up there. You finish studying. It's in the afternoon, is that correct?
Yeah, probably about 6 or so, maybe 5, 6.
Okay. And what were your plans for the evening?
I had plans to go home and get ready to hang out with some of my friends. And then I was informed that there was an invitation to perhaps get some food at Jay's house that night.
And was that information from Ms. Jackson?
Yes, sir.
Now, those days of being in college, free food, was that?
It sounded like a good idea. Yeah.
So, anything out of the ordinary, was anything unusual about that, really?
No, I mean, I knew Jade was a chef, so there was nothing abnormal that she wanted to cook for her friends or anything of that nature.
Had you ever been to the restaurant where she worked as a chef, where Ms. Benning worked as a chef?
No.
Or had eaten her cooking?
Never.
Okay. So, offer was made. You say, sounds good.
Sounds great.
And what, if anything, did you do after that, as far as getting to where the food was?
I think we may have went to my house, parked my car, and then from there, Najee and myself rode in her car to Miss Benning's house.
And who drove it? Being Ms. Jackson's car?
She did.
She drove.
Yes.
Anyone else with you?
No, just us two.
At that time, did you know where Ms. Benning lived?
No, I just heard she had like just moved into a new apartment, but I was not familiar with the area or, specifics as to where it was.
Did Ms. Jackson drive you to what turned out to be Ms. Benning's apartment?
Yes.
Recall approximately what time you arrived?
Like 7:30-ish, maybe.
This time was just a routine evening so far as everything that you knew.
Just another day to me.
You were to be keeping track of time.
Naja knew that their date, Jade and her man, Blaise, at the time, date was supposed to start at 7 o'clock. And they pop up 30 minutes later at 7:30. Just make that make sense. She knew that they were going to be on a date at 7 o'clock, and they pop up 30 minutes after her date's supposed to start.
No.
Directions or anything?
Not at all.
When you arrived at the location, what did you do?
We get out the car, go to this address that we were sent, which obviously was Miss Benny's house. At that point, we knock at the door and we wait for a response.
And was there a response at the door?
Yes.
Well, that point on, tell us what occurred. Who, if anyone, opened the door?
Jade opened the door.
And what was her appearance or demeanor when the first time you laid eyes on her that evening?
She was in good spirits. I can't remember necessarily maybe like what she was wearing, but I'm assuming it was like loungewear. She was at her house in the comforts of her own home, so some loungewear, but appearance and everything, she was in good spirits. She was excited to see Najee and even myself at that time. I think we may have hugged, and she welcomed us into her home.
What?
And, I mean, to be repetitive, but was that the first time you had ever set foot inside her apartment?
First time and only time.
From your memory, can you describe anything what it appeared as you stepped over the threshold into her apartment?
Normal, calm evening. I remember there were, it was small conversations, obviously, maybe some catching up and things like that. But to me, everything seemed normal. There was some food that was just getting done, being prepared. I know when I came in, she wasn't like still hustling around the kitchen, making anything. It was just a calm setting with a pot to the right of me as I walked in. Ahead of me as I walk in is a living room and calm evening.
Was there television on, music playing, anything?
I do believe there was like music playing in the background, yes, sir.
Probably some Get Freaky music. Honey, it was a date. They had candles lit and everything. They was trying to get their groove on.
We talked about 3 people being there.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anyone else besides you, Ms. Jackson, and Ms. Biddy?
Yes, there was a gentleman there, yes.
Had you ever seen that individual before in your life?
No.
Were you introduced?
I was introduced, yes.
Okay, and who was the person?
I was then at that point introduced to Blaise.
Did you have a last name at that time?
I can't recall, and I don't think so.
Let me just ask before we move on, does the individual that you met for the first time the evening of February the 25th, 2023, here in the courtroom?
Yes, he's here.
Did you indicate to that individual and perhaps tell us an item or two of clothing he's wearing?
I see Mr. Taylor. He's wearing a blue suit.
Did you indicate which individual?
The gentleman to the right of me.
All right, that's the record indicated, yes. Identify Mr. Taylor.
Awkward.
First time you've seen Mr. Taylor, you've heard his name before, correct? I'm sorry, you have to answer.
Yes, yes.
Okay, sorry. Can you describe how he appeared in first impression, what you saw?
First impression, nothing really seemed to strike me as off-putting. Seemed like a decently put together gentleman. He was quiet for the most part. And yeah, like I said, nothing really caught me off guard about meeting Mr. Taylor for the first time.
Now you, I believe, referenced some sort of small talk or getting caught up. Did you have any conversation with Mr. Taylor?
If I did, I can't remember. Probably just guy talk, how you doing, something like that. Maybe talked about sports or something of that nature, but nothing overextensive.
When you first saw Mr. Taylor, what anything was he doing?
When I first saw Mr. Taylor when I came in, he was kind of, like I said, to himself, quiet. He was like shuffling some cards, playing with what I believe at the time was like some Uno cards or something like that. And yeah, that's pretty much what he was doing, to himself, quiet. Maybe chimed in a few times in the conversation, but just to himself.
And he told us about cooking and there being food prepared and the fast for you to take, at least some of it.
Yes, yes.
Were there any indications of anything else that was happening in the apartment?
As far as what, can you clarify that?
Just have food, did you see anything else indicated that there was any activity they were going to be engaged in?
Yeah, at that time there were like some canvases out, and when further questions were asked, it was told that they were going to be having like a paint night.
And understand, if at all, what purpose of the painting was?
To my knowledge, these paintings were supposed to be for like the baby's room.
And was there, maybe you said canvas, was there paint and other items that would go with that?
I mean, paintbrushes, stencils, things of that nature, yes, sir.
And where were they?
On the kitchen island as well with the canvases.
Did you see any?
So they were having a paint night, and the friend already testified. The friend already testified that Blaise actually did a painting. So he did a painting for the kids' room that he didn't want. The kids' room that he tried to KI. Interesting, right?
See any, talk about the big food, any type of beverages, any drinks?
Yeah, I saw like there was some like a glass out, maybe a glass or two, and it had like some juice in it or something like that. But from what I can remember, that was all I saw as far as like beverages.
You remember anything about what color the beverage was?
Some sort of pink juice.
Pink juice.
While you were there, did you consume any beverages?
No, I didn't drink anything.
Were you offered anything to drink?
I was. I think I might have been offered maybe some of the juice or either water, but yeah, I wasn't thirsty at the time.
Did you see any alcoholic beverage inside?
Not to my knowledge that I can recall, no.
Just this. How long were you there, approximately?
At most 30 minutes.
During this time, sit down, watch TV, or were you
Were they just
standing?
coming by? Were they just coming by to pick something up?
Or drop
We were standing
something
the
off.
entire time. Never sat down. No, sir.
Never
Yeah.
sat down.
During that time, what, if anything, you observed Mr. Taylor doing other than shuffling the cards?
Didn't necessarily observe him doing anything, like I said, peculiar. I guess there were conversations that were asked as far as to what was going to be like painted. And within those conversations, I remember Jade saying that she was going to be painting a butterfly. And Mr. Taylor, when asked that conversation, I don't want to quote anything wrong, but it was more so something like an ominous and dark image. Maybe he was going to be painting like a dark hole or something like that. I don't know.
What?
And did the butterfly reference mean anything or have any significance to you?
It did, just for the simple fact that at that time, through knowing Jade, I knew that that was her favorite animal.
We're there, the small talk, the catching up. Did you and Miss Jackson at some point leave the apartment?
Yeah, we leave after about, like I said, about 30 minutes, 40 minutes most. We were not there for a long time. And then, yes, after we had our conversation, got the food plated and everything, we left.
So it looks like they went there for 30 to 45 minutes, never even sat down. Does that sound like somebody that actually came to chill with you?
The time that you were there, do you recall whether anyone of the four of you were on cell phones or doing anything like that?
No, not to my knowledge. I feel like everyone that was in the room at that time was pretty present in the moment. I don't think there were phones that were, I don't think anyone was on their phone much.
You and Miss Jackson leave. Is there any sign to your service that there's anything out of the ordinary?
No, not when I left, not at all.
And as far as Miss Bennett, was her mood the same as when you got there?
Yeah, she was same Jade. She was happy, bubbly. She, said it was good to see us. And as we left, there was nothing that would have made me presume that, anything was wrong with her.
Were you able to visually observe that she...
Okay, this one, that's the first 15 minutes. So let's go to the next one. But he said that she was the same Jade. I thought he said that was his first time ever meeting her, but he said she was the same Jade. So anyway, that raises a little questions as to if she the same Jade. So have you been around her before? Because if I was the defense attorney, that's exactly what I would ask. What do you mean the same Jade? So have you been around her before? All right, let's continue.
Were you able to visually observe that she was expecting?
I think at that time, I think she was showing a bump a little bit. I believe so.
So like you said, you already knew that anyway.
Yeah, I knew she was pregnant. Yes, sir.
Where did you and Miss Jackson go after leaving the apartment? What happened?
At that point, we go back to my house, in which, like I said, when we left the library, that's where we initially went to drop my car off. So we go back to my house, and I think she was at my house for maybe another 40 minutes or so while we were eating, things of that nature. And then from there, after about 40 minutes to an hour, she leaves because, as I stated, I was getting ready to hang out with some friends later that evening.
Yeah. So did you eat the food at your apartment? By you, I mean you and Miss Jackson.
Yes, we ate at my apartment.
Okay. Anything unusual about the food?
No.
Was it good?
It tastes pretty good, yeah. Nothing unusual.
So I thought they said when she left Jade's house, 30 minutes later, Jade called frantic. So now we find out that when they left Jade's house, they go to his house and stay for another 40 minutes or so. And then she leaves his house. Jackson does. Nia Jackson leaves his house and goes to her house.
So does Miss Jackson then leave your presence?
Yes, sir.
What did you do after Miss Jackson left?
After she leaves, I carry on with my evening. I get dressed. After I get dressed, I go to my friend's apartment to meet them there. And that's where, yeah.
So while you're at your friend's apartment, were these also fellow students? Or
Graduates. Yeah, they were graduates.
So while you were there, does anything unusual occur?
At that point, I get a phone call, a very frantic phone call from Najee, pretty much, panicking. I can tell she's in distress. She's crying a little bit. And I'm trying to ask her what's going on. And all I can really get out of her is like, is something wrong with Jade? There's something wrong with Jade. There's something wrong with Jade.
And were you able to comprehend what was wrong? Or
At the time, no, but I think
Now that's suspect right there. And if I was the defense attorney, I would zoom in on that. She called him and said, there's something wrong with Jade. There's something wrong with Jade. So if she called frantic, something is wrong with her friend, and she never dialed 911, never.
I kind of maybe got her to calm down, or she calms herself down. She ends up telling me that, like,
okay, so she's frantic, calms down, and is able to communicate with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, what, if anything, did you do based on that communication?
At that point, I'm on the phone, and now that things have been clarified as to what's going on, she lets me know that Jade wants.
His question was, what did you do next?
So let's go back a little bit, y'all, just a little bit. So this was a date night for Jade and her boyfriend. Remember, Jade made chicken Alfredo. She posted all on Instagram. If you know, you know. She made chicken Alfredo. I think she called it chicken spaghetti or something like that. But nevertheless, she made food. So if it was meant for the four of them, don't you think that they would have ate at Jay's house? They didn't even sit down. They didn't eat at Jay's house. They left Jay's house because they went there uninvited and ended up eating at Keontae's house. Don't y'all find that kind of weird? If they were invited to a party, don't you think they would have eaten the chicken Alfredo at Jay's house? But apparently they didn't eat there. They ate at Kenyatta's house, Kenyate house.
What do? I stay on the phone.
Okay. And who, if anyone, was on the phone?
Najee, I think I get merged with Jade.
Yes. And so it's been a three-way
Conversation.
Were you able to hear the voice of Miss Benny?
Able to hear the voice to make out what was being said? No.
And what, if anything, did you describe the voice you heard of Miss Benny?
Soft, faint, not within the same coherence of the voice that I had previously just heard an hour ago. It was like we discussed earlier, just the fact that it seemed like she was in distress.
How long did that three-way call last, Cheryl?
So now Keontae said that Jade seemed like she was in distress. So now you have frantic Najee, and I may be saying her name wrong, so I'm just going to say Jackson, okay? You have Jackson frantic. She calls Keontae. Keontae says it sounds like she was in distress, and neither one of them called 911. But the guy on trial, he called 911.
No more than 2 minutes at that point. I think the call might have dropped or something of that nature.
So say, did you hang up? Or?
No, I didn't hang up. She was no longer on the phone with me after 2 minutes.
Before you say this, did you have any idea at the time what was going on?
No, I didn't have any idea as to what was going on. Just there was two people I knew in distress.
Did you call 911 or?
No.
And why not?
I really don't know what I would have been telling them to do had I called 911. I didn't really know the severity of the situation.
So you have another friend, so-called acquaintance, that would not have known what to say to 911 after hearing somebody on the phone frantic. They don't know what to say to 911. They don't know to say, hey, my friend is frantic. She's on the phone. I don't know what's going on. Can somebody go over there and do a courtesy look, call, or whatever? She sounded very distressed. But he did not know, as a doctorate of dental surgeon, right? He's in graduate school. That's a higher level professional degree. And he didn't know what to say to 911 about someone being in distress.
Call drops.
Mm-hmm.
You must ask for separate locations.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. What, if anything, did you do after the call drops?
After the call drops, I believe I give Najee a call back, just trying to confirm what's going on. She tells me that she thinks
You don't have to say what she claimed. Did you have a conversation with her?
I did.
Okay. And following that conversation, what, if anything, did you do?
I carry on with my night.
Right. At that time, did you have any idea if there's anything that you could do or needed to do?
No, except be there for support.
Well, we'll get to that part. Talking about when you finished the call, did you learn that you might be needed to go somewhere for support?
Yes. After that call, the second call we're speaking of right now, yes. At that point, I knew I might be needed somewhere later in the evening for support.
And did that in fact turn out to be true? That you?
It didn't need time to be true.
And where did you go?
Vanderbilt Hospital.
And this lady says, why did you go there?
Because at this point, I had learned the severity of the situation that was occurring with Miss Benny.
And that you would have been one of the last people to see her.
Or speak with her, yes.
To speak with her.
Both, yes.
When you arrived at the hospital, where did you go?
I pull up and park right in front of the ambulance dock at Vanderbilt, and I was instructed to park in the garage that is right across the walkway.
Who, if anyone, did you see there that you recognized?
At that point in time, I don't believe there was anyone outside that I knew, but I did eventually go and meet with Najee.
And where was Miss Jackson when you first saw her at the hospital?
Either coming down the stairs in the lobby. If I can recall, more so like the lobby, the main area right inside of the emergency room.
Do you recall approximately what time it would be when you arrived at Vanderbilt?
In between 12:45 and like 1:30 a.m.
At any time while you were there, did you see the gentleman that you had met earlier in the evening?
No,
Taylor?
didn't see him at all.
Did you, or were you allowed to see Miss Benny at the hospital that night?
That night, no. I did not see Miss Benny that night.
Did you see or speak to any police officers that night?
No.
As the days went on, did you go back to the hospital?
Yes, I went back to the hospital, I believe the next day when like family and friends arrived, again for support and just because at this point, like I said, the severity of the situation. And then I believe I went back a final time for her birthday.
And so they large her family.
Okay, support or what? Is this Jackson's boyfriend? Because if you saying you went for support for someone that you really didn't know, that you only met one or two times, you think somebody would run up to the hospital that many times? Or are they trying to find out if she's going to wake up and talk? This is a little strange.
That was the day that it was decided that the plug was going to be pulled.
That's sad.
Since that night, evening, when you left the apartment, have you seen or spoken to Mr. Taylor again?
No.
I don't know, y'all. I think something is up. What y'all think? They was frantic because of what they did to Jay's drink, in my opinion. Yeah, I think so too.
What else came around to is being personally in the presence of Mr. Taylor. That's not occurred.
No.
Okay. As far as asked about phone calls, were there any telephone or cell phone communications where you were involved that Mr. Taylor was on the line?
I believe on 2 instances the night that, things transpired on February 25th.
Yeah. Okay. And that's what you're around to. Those conversations, how did that work? So the first one.
So the first one was that initial phone call when I was told that, something was going on. I get on the phone with Mr. Taylor and I simply just ask him, like, you know, yo, what's going on? Like, is everything good? Like, please tell me you didn't, you know, something didn't happen in that, at the house. And he answers me and says that, no, nothing happened. He doesn't know what's going on.
And you describe Ms. Jackson's tone of voice, and what was Mr. Taylor's tone?
Celeste said, do you find it strange or more that Blaise wasn't at the hospital? Are you saying Blaise wasn't at the hospital? Is that what you're saying? Let me know if that's supposed to be, do I find it strange that he was not at the hospital? Because Blaise was at the hospital. Let me know if that's what you're saying.
I could sense a little bit of panic in his voice, kind of just, I don't know what type of panic, but there was some sort of like panic in his voice.
Now, was there a second communication?
Yeah, so the second line of communications happens while I'm at my friend's house. I think Najee calls me back, and I can hear her and Mr. Taylor, like, you know, going back and forth with each other. This is now currently while they're at the hospital. Again, I'm not there, but I'm at my friend's. And I hear them going back and forth with each other. I think she's telling him, like, stay away from her, X, Y, and Z. And so I asked her at that point, like, put him on the phone. And when he gets on the phone, I ask him again, I'm like, yo, listen, like, please tell me you didn't do something to that girl. And he again states that he didn't. He doesn't know what's going on. I again reiterate that question and say, bro, please tell me, like, you didn't do anything to the girl. And again, his word is that he doesn't know what's going on. He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything to her. He swears on it.
And what was his tone or demeanor?
Again, like, there seems like a little bit of uncertain panic that's going on in his undertone. Like I said, I'm no detective or anything, but like I said, I feel like there was some sort of panic that was perhaps in his voice.
And so to the extent in the final conversation that you
that would have been the last time I spoke with him, yes, sir.
Wait, I guess you and Ms. Jackson are still in school together, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did you know any of Ms. Benning's family or relatives prior to seeing them there in the hospital?
No, just heard of them, you know, word of mouth, but I never met them or anything like that.
That's my question, Josh.
All right, y'all, listen. Hold on. Here come the defense. Let me see who's going to cross-examining him. Who y'all think it's going to be before they show it? Is it going to be the female or is it going to be the guy? Oh, a black guy.
Right.
Black
Cross.
All right, here we go.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Now, I have not heard him do any cross-examination as of yet in this trial, so this will be my first hearing from this attorney.
My name is Ed Jointer. People just call me Ed. I'm going to be asking you a few questions. If at any time you don't understand, please let me know and I'll try to rephrase.
Sorry, Ed, what?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Ed Jointer. People just call me Ed. I'm going to be asking you a few questions.
Jointer.
If at any time you don't understand, please let me know and I'll try to rephrase.
Gotcha.
Mr. Jones, when you were talking to the state, you said you came to the Nashville area for school, correct?
Yes, sir.
Where did you come from? What state?
Came here from Ohio.
That's where you were born and raised at?
Yes, sir.
And just I want to clear up a few things. You also said that you began Meharry Medical School in the fall of 23?
Well, I was in the online master's program in 2022, and I started actual campus classes fall of 2023. Yes, dental school in fall of 2023. Well, I was in the online master's.
So, fall of 2023 will begin when?
We actually have a MAPS program that begins in about this time. Actually, orientation was just yesterday, but actual on-campus classes start the first week of August.
The first week of August. So, the incident that we're here for is February of 2023, correct?
Yeah.
So in February of 2023, where are you in terms of your enrollment? Are you online? What's the deal?
February of 2023, I would have been in person on campus, a dental student at that point in time.
Okay. And there you met and knew Miss.
I just started a, well, actually, let me change it. I'm sorry. Hold on. Yeah, well, I did $2. Okay, I just started a $2 super chat goal. If you guys don't mind help tipping your girl for this live stream. Thank you. Appreciate ya.
Isaiah Jackson.
Yes.
And you all were friends.
Yes.
And so I want to talk to you about before you went over Miss Denny's house.
Okay.
You stated on direct examination that you had planned to go out that evening with your friends.
Yes, sir.
And at some point, you were invited by Ms. Jackson to go to Mrs. Benning's house.
Yes, sir.
And you also knew that Blaise Taylor would be at Mrs. Benning's house.
Yes, sir. I believe so.
And so, did you have any reservations about going on a date to Mrs. Benning's house and Blaise was going to be there? Did you feel like you were intruding? Is my question.
I can't say at the time. I think, it was more so I knew that they were going to be having like couples night. So I said it was okay, like they could have their time together. But I was told that Jade wanted us to come.
Right. Was it going to be like a double dating situation?
No.
What was your purpose of going there?
Because I had been given an invite to come get food as well.
And so, did you plan to stay long?
No.
So you were going to get some food and then leave.
Mm-hmm.
1 second. I have Stacy exhibit 1A.
He was going to get some
messages.
He was going to get
said,
food and leave.
It's just for food.
So if he was going to get food and leave, why would he get food and leave and go to his house and cook food? He was going to go get food and leave, but yet he already had planned to go over his friend's house later, but they went over there, stayed 40 minutes or so, left, went back to his house to eat, where they actually cooked at his house. Yeah, okay. He about to get trapped, y'all. I hear it coming.
Kayla says, don't let this get messy. I don't know. I think we're getting there.
Commissioner Pope,
Yeah, it should be coming up there.
all right. So you talked about going over Miss Benning's house.
Mm-hmm.
Does this look?
Do you see how just uncomfortable he just got, you guys? He was so confident before, right? But now all of a sudden he done got so uncomfortable. Do y'all notice that? Let me get about 3 or 4 people in the chat to let me know his demeanor. If you know how to read body language, let me know if you think that he just got uncomfortable when a defense attorney came up and started asking him questions.
Like Miss Benning's house as it was in February of 2023?
No, not as it was February 2023. No, sir.
This is not her apartment?
No, this is her apartment.
Okay. And that's what I'm asking. I'm asking you, is this the apartment that you were at?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. And so you all go over there, and there was some talks about Blaise's demeanor.
Mm-hmm.
And by all accounts, you described it as normal.
Normal, yes, sir.
Nothing was alarming about it.
The only thing that was alarming, like I can attest to, is a comment about painting a black hole. It's the only thing that stood out to me.
I agree. Let's talk about that.
So, okay, do you think it would be normal for 2 people to find that comment was kind of strange, that he was going to paint a black hole? Or do you think that they communicated with each other and came up with that it was strange that he said he was going to paint a black hole? He said that's the only thing that stood out to him. And she said that's the only thing that seemed weird to her. Yeah, okay. Come on, we at 15:30. Oh, great. Is it doing it? Oh, here we go.
He wanted to say that.
You see this? Can you draw a circle around that image right there for me? If you touch your screen, you'll put a circle around it. Do you know what that is?
I can't tell you what it is now.
That's a painting. Is it not?
I can tell you it's a painting, yes, sir.
Does it look like an ominous black hole?
No, it looks like
I don't know what it looks like.
Do you know what a black hole looks like?
Dark, kind of how this looks a little dark.
Well, it don't look like a black hole to me. It looked like a white hole to me. I mean, if you really want to know the truth.
As well.
the hole is bright.
I'm gonna point you. Can you draw a smaller hole within inside of that hole? Mr. Jones, is that a dark hole?
It's a white circle.
My question is that a dark hole?
No, sir.
So why you say dark hole?
Oh man, I still got the drawing on the screen.
One other thing.
I love that. Fun exercise.
Okay.
I'll let you want it still up.
Thank you.
So they had a picture laying on the counter here, so it's not like some random thing that Jade wouldn't have been aware of, and some disgruntled man in the corner is just going, I'm gonna paint a black hole, you're talking about butterflies, and I'm grumpy and mad and don't want this baby. There's a reference picture sitting on the counter where it's not a black hole, it's like something showing light. Maybe it's an egg. Yeah, what did we just watch?
So he referenced a black hole, and so did Najee. She referenced it a black hole as well. Do it look black to y'all? It doesn't look black to me. So I just think the verbiage black hole, yeah, they came up with that with each other. Okay, they just repeating each other at that point.
Kiana came back at the right time. Yeah, and just to look again, let's look without the doodles on it. Oh. I guess.
Do you know what that is?
Kind of not really panned there quick
I
enough.
can't tell you what it is now.
That's a paint.
And there's stuff around it. Like, I don't know.
And I don't know if y'all see this, but you know, they took pictures of the place after the fact when they came in. If you see them sitting there, standing there with blue medical gloves on, hospital gloves, do y'all see that? They come back. They don't know yet that Jade is going to not make it, right? And they have on blue gloves inside the house. Now, when I say they, these are two of the four people that came back to blow out the candles, move the camera, put down the blinds, and take the preserved evidence is what they say. But they got on blue gloves in this painting. I mean, in this photo.
What's all around it? But
It's not.
I can tell you it's a painting, yes, sir.
Does it look like an ominous black hole?
I don't know what it looks like.
Do you know what a black hole looks like?
Dark, kind of how this looks, a little dark as well.
go ask somebody today if they know what a dark hole
You
looks
draw a
like.
smaller hole inside of that hole.
Could these be
Mr.
butterflies?
Jones,
or
is that a dark
something?
hole?
It's a white circle.
My question is that a dark hole?
No, sir.
But they're gonna clear that,
Okay,
unless you want it still up.
thanks.
You look a little nervous now.
Thank you. The statement asked you who was present there. And in this photograph, we see two people here in this corner. You see those two individuals there?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see those two individuals there?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Were they present when you came?
No, sir.
You see how he done raised his eyebrows? He scrunched up. I call it balled up your forehead, right? He balled up his face a little bit, you know, anticipating the next question, right? Like, what is he gonna ask me? I'm not about to incriminate myself. His facial expression speaks right now, you guys. It really speaks. I'm worried about what he's about to ask me next. Or I think he has caught me up in something and I got to figure out how I'm going to get out of it.
So, at some point, you and Ms. Jackson get your food and you all leave, correct?
Yes, sir.
And where do you go again?
To my house?
And does Ms. Jackson accompany you there?
Yes, sir.
And about how long did she stay there?
As I stated already, probably about an hour max. I think 40 minutes to an hour.
And how do you, if you remember, how far do you live away from Mrs. Bennett?
At most 12 minutes, if you put it in max.
Okay. So, from Ms. Bennett's house, you go back to your house, correct?
Yes.
You stay there about an hour.
Yes, sir.
You eat the food.
Eat the food.
It's delicious.
Yes.
And then at some point, Ms. Jackson leaves.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us how long was she gone before you received a call from her?
I can't really recall.
Do you remember feeling like it was quick? Damn, she just left.
I think it was probably about, again, like 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay. So she calls you. And when she calls you, you described her as being in a panic.
Yes, sir.
And as a result of her calling you, you get on a three-way call with Miss Bennett.
Yes, sir.
And so now it's you, Jay, and Isaiah on a three-way call.
Yes, sir.
And you're not able to make out anything that Jade is saying.
Like I said, it just sounded distressed. I believe she might have like maybe said my name or like that she needed help or something of that nature.
So you heard that when you were on the call.
I need you to.
If she said his name and said she needed help, still, you guys, none of them called the popo. If your friend call you frantic and you can't make out what they're saying, but it sounds like they need help, who are you gonna call? Who you gonna call? Not Ghostbusters. You called the popo.
Refresh my recollection.
I'll rephrase it, no problem.
Yes, sir.
When you were on direct examination with the state, you talked about when you were on a three-way call.
Mm-hmm.
It was you, Najee, and Miss Bennett.
Yes,
correct?
sir. Yes, sir.
And when you were on direct examination with the state, you said how you could not ascertain what Miss Bennett was saying, correct?
It was very slurred.
And now on direct examination, you're saying she was saying your name, Keith.
I can't tell you what she was saying.
So which one is correct? Did she say something?
And I like the way the defense just said that. Which one is correct? He's not saying you are a liar, which he is saying it, but he didn't come flat out and say it like I would say it, right? He said, which one is correct? Basically, he's saying, did you lie to the state or are you lying to me? Which one is correct?
Something audible that you could understand, or did she?
It was very muffled. It was very muffled, so no, it wasn't too clear what she was saying.
Okay. But just to be clear, the original call from Najee, you felt that she was in distress and a panic. Najee, correct? When she first called
You're asking me, was Najee in a panic?
Yes, that's how you described it, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so, as a result of you experiencing that distress phone call from Najee, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then being on a three-way call with Najee, as well as Miss Benning, correct?
Yes, sir.
Your method, what you did after that was continue on with your day, correct?
Yes, sir.
You said you went out, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you change your clothes
At what point in the night?
after the call? And when you got back home,
Yes, sir.
did you change your clothes when you first got back home?
To go out? Yes, sir.
Do you remember what you changed into?
No, I couldn't tell you.
So, at some point, while being out, you said you received another call or you made a call?
I can't recall. I just know I was on the phone at some point, me being out.
Okay. And as a result of you being on the phone while you were out, you said you went to Vanderbilt Hospital.
After me being out, yes.
Right, because regardless of what you heard earlier, you still went out with your plans, correct?
Yes, sir.
And while you were out, you got another call.
Mm-hmm.
And that call led you to go to Vanderbilt Hospital, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, did you get a visitor's pass that night?
I don't know. I can't recall.
Well, tell the jury, what did you do after you got at Vanderbilt?
When I get to Vanderbilt, obviously I think I check on the person that I'm most connected to in the situation. And at that point, I check on Najee and Miss Jackson.
How do you check on them?
We meet in the emergency room lobby.
Are you able to do that without getting a visitor's pass?
I wouldn't know Vanderbilt's criteria as far as how they go about seeing visitors.
Did you go through a metal detector that night?
I don't think they have metal detectors at the door.
Okay. So if Miss Jackson had a visitor's pass and went through a metal detector to get into Vanderbilt, certainly you would have too, correct?
I would assume so, but like I said, maybe their staff wasn't doing their job that night.
Maybe so. Let's talk about who you encountered once you arrived at Vanderbilt. Did you encounter an officer named Fisk?
I don't believe so.
Did you encounter a Detective Smith?
I don't believe so.
Did you encounter an Officer Kalinsky?
Don't believe so.
Did you talk to law enforcement at all that night?
I don't think so.
At some point during either call, when you were on the phone on the three-way, did you ever hear Blaise say he was about to call 911?
Oh.
I think I do recall him maybe saying something of that nature.
Oh. You didn't want to volunteer that?
At any point, did you ever learn that the police wanted to speak?
Let's go back just a little bit. I want to hear what just happened. 24. Okay, let's go back.
Something of that nature.
Oh.
Hold on.
At some point during either call, when you were on the phone on the three-way, did you ever hear Blaise say he was about to call 911?
Oh.
I think I do recall him.
So he was going to leave out the fact that Blaise, the guy on trial, said, I'm about to call the popo. I'm about to call 911. So now all of a sudden, oh yeah, it came back to his memory.
Maybe saying something of that nature.
Oh. You didn't want to volunteer that?
At any point, did you ever learn that the police wanted to speak with you?
At that particular night, no.
And if the law enforcement wanted to speak to you, would you have been a willing participant?
Yes.
Do you recall an interview with an investigator around April 30th of 2023?
The one that showed up to my house?
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. And do you recall speaking with that investigator?
I do.
And do you recall telling that investigator that no one from law enforcement ever contacted you?
I guess so. I can't recall.
You can't recall?
I don't recall that conversation. I think that was almost 2 years ago.
Would a recording of that conversation refresh your memory and aid you in your testimony today?
If you have it, yes, it would definitely help.
Brief on, Sean.
The sit back, the lean back. What are we thinking? This is a lot. This is a trial, of course.
Thinking that he's not being honest. That's what.
Not a moment to get an audio recording, but you just have audio or also have transcript.
I have an audio. I only have one transcription, Your Honor, but I have an audio that way I can provide also to the state and the kids. We may approach.
Okay.
Oh, now he want to interrupt. Sit down, State. Sit down.
Let's see if we can show it to the witness and see if that refreshes their memory.
Sit down, State.
I have a copy of the transcript, Your Honor.
Okay. Are you wanting to approach the bench?
Yes, Your Honor. I was asking for the jury out.
Okay. You step up.
Sit down, State. Okay, so they're being called to the bench right now. He's trying to object because he don't like the way it's going.
Slow on the draw on that one. Look at that. We're almost caught up. We're going to run out of time to catch up. Oh, we're zooming in on somebody's neck hair and neck.
I'm going to fast forward it just a little bit to get them back sitting down.
Just wanted to approach and clarify, like, hey, have him listen to the audio outside the presence of the jury to see if it refreshes his recollection before you play it for the jury. Make sure that the defense doesn't just play it all willy-nilly out loud.
I would hate to be a witness in a case and be caught up lying, trying to get somebody in trouble.
Right?
And just lying. It's just easier to just tell the truth. She said, man, what the hell went on in that apartment? Some fraganagle bull.
Camera guy's gonna.
And in my opinion, I believe that he went up to the hospital, in my opinion now, this is just my opinion, to see if she was gonna wake up and talk.
Okay, the camera guy also turned down the volume a little. Maybe it's the machine in court.
So the state has objected. The state doesn't want that information to be heard. Okay, they reached some type of agreement. Hold on. Oh, no, not yet. All right, now they have.
Look at that. Look at all the Chuck emojis going.
All right, get that, Eric.
Big
They
thank
want
you
to
to
show you
Chuck.
this
Oh, kind of loud.
transcript of this paper and see if we can just look at the bracketed information at the bottom. Is the question he's wanting to ask you about whether you ever talked to the police.
So now he has to read
You
it.
have to refresh your memory. So as to what you told the investigator.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then what is your question?
He had to get a refresher
You
memory.
need it back. Yes, sir.
Had to refresh his memory. He like, oh shit, I did tell him that. I did say that, did I?
Okay.
So, Mr. Jones, we were discussing whether or not you recalled having an interview on April 30th, 2023 with an investigator from Covert. Do you recall that?
Yes, sir.
And do you recall stating that at that time, the police did not interview you?
Yes, sir.
And do you also recall stating that, honestly, I was trying to kind of be as far away from the case as possible?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Jones, have you ever been convicted of a misdemeanor theft?
Ooh, shit.
I've never been convicted, not to my knowledge, no.
Okay. 1 second.
Never been convicted, not to my knowledge. Oh
Is
shit.
it just an arrest?
Not to your knowledge?
Not to your knowledge.
Ask and answer.
Okay.
Oh shit.
All right. Any other questions?
Sure.
Are you a
I just want to
thief?
make sure that I understand when you say no, that are you saying it never happened or you don't remember ever being in legal trouble for misdemeanor theft out of Ohio?
I object to that.
Okay. Legal trouble. You asked him if he'd been convicted of a misdemeanor theft. And your answer is
Not to my knowledge, I've never been convicted for a crime.
okay.
So,
Not
What's
to
that
my
deal?
knowledge? That's a no, hell. You should know if you've been convicted or not.
I wonder if it was like an adjudication, like in contemplation of dismissal or something, where
Or did he plead no contest? Or did
Ms. Jones, you are from Ohio, correct?
I stated earlier, yes, sir.
Thank you. No further questions.
also he getting smart? Listen, he didn't got he got sticky fingers or something. They about to catch him, y'all.
Wait, let the lawyer step up just a moment.
Oh Lord.
judge is calling the attorneys to the bench.
So they might try to argue that this is irrelevant, that he is a witness and his criminal behavior is not on trial or something to that or whatever, you know. But the defense then already snuck it in there to let the jury know that we are getting a witness testimony from, you know, somewhat of a criminal, you know what I mean? A misdemeanor criminal.
Maybe it's scheduling. Maybe it's just a scheduling thing. How many witnesses do you have left? But you could ask that out loud. Oh. Sheriff Chuck says, I hate when they convict me and don't tell me. Convict Chuck chat. Yeah, created by EJF says, how do you not know if you've ever been convicted? Yeah, not to my knowledge is an odd way to answer that.
Yeah, you know whether or not your ass been convicted. Come on. You know if you got some convictions on your record. Shit. You want to know before the damn defense attorney know. Okay, you know before you get up in court whether you've been convicted or got any warrants, right?
Yeah, an expungement. That's where my mind is going. Like, was it something that you did have some type of penalty for? There was some type of adjudication, but the classification of it isn't technically a conviction.
Celeste said, I know 100% that I have not been convicted. Yeah, I know 100% I ain't been convicted since I've been an adult. An adult, you know what I'm saying? But you know, when I was 17, I got in trouble for fighting, you know what I'm saying? But I've never been convicted. I may have, you know, stole a bra at Kmart, but they didn't catch me, you know what I mean?
For the superhero thing, we got redirect.
How did they redirect already?
He sounds quiet.
Sir, April 2023, has that been the defendant's investigator who came to your residence?
Yes, sir.
Did you have any advance notice that someone was coming to interview you?
Not at all. I was woken up out of my sleep.
And this person identify themselves? Do you recall who it was?
If they didn't make themselves clear as to who they were, just that they were an investigator of part of this case.
Now, as the police investigation moved along, have you not only been interviewed, but spoken with the prosecutors on several occasions?
Yes, sir. As far as, yes.
In preparation for
This case.
trial?
Yes, sir.
And this being very shortly after this being passed, was that something you were focusing on?
At the time, no. I was probably more so focused on school and, things of that nature.
So he told the detective that he wants to stay as far away from this case as possible. Why do you think someone would say something like that they want to stay as far away from it as possible?
Is if you describe hearing both Mr. Taylor and Ms. Jackson as panicked, use that word, their voices, the tenor of their voices.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a difference between the two types of panic?
There was a difference. Miss Jackson's, like as I stated, was more so like a frantic, worried panic, and I don't know what language I'm allowed to use in here, but Mr. Taylor's was more so of like, oh shit, I just effed up type of panic.
Oh,
Those are my questions.
Yeah, well, sure.
Mr.
Isn't that subjective? That he said Najee was a frantic panic, and Blaise was a oh shit, I just fucked up type of panic. How the hell? A frantic panic and a oh shit, I just fucked up. What's the difference, y'all? Tell me how it sounds. How does a frantic panic and a oh shit, I just fucked up panic, how do they sound? Oh shit, oh, I don't know what I just did. Like what? Yeah, I don't know.
how would you
Mr.
know?
John,
Yes, sir.
That description that you just gave while the state was on redirect, oh shit, I fucked up, panic. Have you ever stated that before at any time to anyone?
Yes.
Did you state that to the investigator when he spoke to you on April 30th?
I don't know if that question was even asked in that investigative conversation.
Do you not remember?
As I already stated, that was about 2.5 years ago, so no, I don't recall.
And would, if given the opportunity to review a transcript of that conversation, would that refresh your memory and aid your testimony here today?
I think it would.
Giving him some more of his testimony to remind him of.
Can I say where would you like me to be reading, or should I read the whole thing?
Take a moment, read all of it.
Take a moment, read it all. Take a moment, read it all. I think right now it sounds like he's trying to make sure him and his friend Najee is good. I don't think that they give a damn if Blaise get blamed, and well, he did get blamed, but he goes down for this death. I don't think he give a damn. Send him up the road. It ain't gonna affect me. Blame it on somebody else.
Okay, maybe he reads for a while here. Yeah.
And let me tell you something.
Feed reader.
We're gonna put it on mute until he stopped reading. Oh, here he go. What he says.
It's not going to get Wesley and studies.
What?
Wait, let's go back to
This
what he
is-
said. Hold on, let's go back to what he said.
Here. Yeah. Feed reader.
I read over it, but nothing. I'm not getting where this is leading.
It's not going to get Wesley and studies.
What? This is not, you're not doing the questioning.
That you want me to read? I've read over it, but nothing. I'm not getting where this is leading.
It's not going to get Wesley and studies to read all of it.
I mean, we would be here a while if I read all of it.
It's worth it. Please take time to familiarize yourself with it.
So he said he doesn't get where it's going. He's not reading anything that's, stands out to him. I think what the defense attorney is trying to say is you never told the detective that Blaise had a, oh shit, what did I do type of voice when you spoke to him the first time. So that's what he's basically having him do. See, did you say that to the lead detective? He said he don't remember. And the defense is like, okay, well, let me just let you read what you said. So now you can remember if you said that or not. And believe it or not, that's what they do. You got to be careful when you're talking to or when you're making a statement, because they say when you tell the truth, you should remember. And it's not always remember it word from word, but you should know roundabout, what you said, because you're repeating what you remember. But when you start not telling the truth, it kind of get a little screwed up. You kind of forget and add a little, take away a little, divide a little, multiply a little. You know what I mean? Carry the 1 and the 2 to the 3. So right now he's reading his statement and like, oh shit, is that what I said? Oh, okay. Because what they'll do, they get on the stand and they'll say something totally different. He can't remember nothing from 2 years ago, but he remembered that Blaise had an oh shit frantic voice. Exactly. A oh shit frantic voice. A oh shit I fucked up frantic voice. A oh shit I fucked up. I just want to know what a oh shit I fucked up sound like versus oh shit something happened to my girl. All right, I'm trying to it won't come off mute. Okay, we at 38:16. Why it won't come off mute, y'all? Hold on. Can I get it to come off mute? It's tripping right now, y'all. Here you go.
Okay, I think I've seen enough.
He said, I think I've seen enough.
I didn't.
He said, I think I've seen enough. He don't want to read no more. He said, okay, I think I've seen enough. I don't want to read no more.
Like, why would you do this?
Thank you so much, Barbara. Thank you. Thank you, Levette. She said, support, let's run it up. Thank you, Nico. Hey, more mods in chat. Thank y'all. Hey, girl. Thank you, Tevis. Who else we got? Thank you, J-Lu. Thank you, Proud Loud Talker.
The nose swipe, guys.
Yeah, he is wiping that nose. These the most forgetful folks I ever seen.
He says, what a note-taking judge.
Yep.
I spoke over this guy. Hold on. I spoke over him. Sorry. But thank you, Crime Junkie, for sending in your member comment, celebrating your new membership. Thank you so much. But yeah, what a note-taking judge. Guys, I think this judge is very astute, very sharp, and a man of brevity. And I appreciate that because I think we'll have an efficient trial, even with the messes. He kept this trial from going off the rail.
I'm just going to put her commentary on mute. I actually think the judge was an asshole to the defense, but that's just my opinion.
Okay. An approach?
Okay.
Just to be efficient. I like that too.
So it sounds like the judge is making him read everything. Thank you, big sis. Appreciate you. She said, hey, more mods and chat sisters. Hey, sis. Thank you. Thank y'all for blessing this live stream. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If y'all are enjoying these trial coverage, y'all let me know. I know this was out of nowhere. Hey, Ashley, girl. For those that are just coming in and may not know what this trial is about, it is a former college football player by the name of Blaise Taylor out of Nashville, Tennessee. He is being charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. They are saying that 2 counts of first-degree murder and 2 counts of felony murder. They are accusing him of unaliving his 5-month pregnant girlfriend because he didn't want to have a baby with her. And in trying to unalive her, he unalived the baby as well. That's what they are alleging. They are alleging that he poured so much cocaine in a glass of pink juice. It appears to be pink lemonade. He poured so much cocaine in it that unalived her and the baby. So they're trying to put him away for the rest of his life without parole, if found guilty. Right now, there is nothing that is tying him to the unaliving for the simple fact that they have never recovered the cup with the drugs in it. 4 people went over to the apartment before the cops was able to secure the scene. And it's just a whole muckery mess right about now. So that's what we are watching and breaking down. But this guy on the stand is one of the guys, or one of the persons that went over to the house where the couple was before the incident occurred. I'll just say incident, before the incident occurred. Here we go.
The description you gave that Mr. Taylor was, oh, I fucked up, panic. Have you ever given that statement to anyone at any time?
Yes.
When?
When I met with the DA.
When was that?
Oh,
First time I probably gave that testimony was back in February.
Of this year?
why didn't you say that before you were asked to have your recollection refreshed by reading this transcript? Now you know that it couldn't plausibly be in this thing. Now you have to point somewhere else. And now you're pointing at a finger to somebody who we can assume didn't put the defense on notice of this. This sounds like some BS. This is not passing the smell test for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. And did you talk to Detective Reese on February 28th of 2023 by phone?
I don't know who Detective Reese is.
So if he said he spoke to you, you don't recall that?
Is that who this person is?
No, sir.
I don't know.
So he met with the DA, and that's why the DA, well, I ain't gonna say the only reason why, but that's one of the reasons why the DA pursued these charges as hard as she did, because they really thought that they had something solid. This man that went down there and testified that this guy had a, oh shit, what did I do? I just fucked up moment. How? How can you tell that over the phone?
Don't recall that?
Is that who this person is?
No, sir.
I don't know who Detective Reese is.
Thank you. No further questions.
Ooh.
Any other questions?
Yes. You, Mr. Jones,
The
having
state,
read this
the state like, damn, you fucking it up for me.
transcript, did you see anywhere in there where you were asked the question
Redirect.
to describe or asked to describe the panic that you testified in today? Were you ever asked that?
I don't see that question presented in this document.
All right. But we asked you, didn't we?
Yes, sir.
Oh, they're embracing it.
That's all.
Any other questions?
Mr. Jones, you understood that the purpose of that visit was to get information about what happened and what information you may have had as it related to Jay Benny, correct?
Sure. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
No further questions, John.
Damn.
And Mr. Jones,
Oh my God.
when did you realize?
Look at the judge. Look at the judge.
Yeah, the
We
judge
are
is
on
mad.
redirect right now.
Sure. Yeah, I guess.
No further questions, John.
Watch the judge.
And Mr. Jones, when did you realize that person who came and got this information from you was working for Mr. Taylor?
After I had already had this conversation to give them the information they requested.
That's all.
Any other questions?
No questions for Ms. Williams, John.
Thank you. Yes,
Run.
Okay, so what just happened, right? So the guy that was with Kiana Jackson, not Kiana, but Najee Jackson was just testifying. However, on the last little bit that you just heard, the investigator that came over to his house and woke him up he said woke him up out of his sleep. It was an investigator, but it was not the investigator for the state. It was an investigator for Blaise Taylor team, the defense team. I don't know if y'all know that that can happen, but it can. An investigator can come and interview you too, even though you may be a witness for the state. And what they do is when they come and investigate you, they don't say we're for the state or we're for the defense. They just literally say, I am an investigator and I'm investigating this case, right? And depending on what you say, that's your words that's going to be used against you when the defense gets ready to get up and cross-examining you. So you got to be careful. I'm just saying that, not that you guys will be put in this situation, but people need to know that when an investigator come and knock on your door, is not always for who you think that you are defending. It could very well be from the other side. And they're going to use those words that you say against your ass in court, okay? So that was his testimony that he gave. I don't know. What did y'all take from his testimony? Y'all let me know. What did y'all take from his testimony? Does he sound suspect? Does it just sound like he's in dental school, he's about to become a surgeon, and he just don't want to have shit to do with this? What did you gather from him? Y'all let me know. What did you gather from him? All right, I'm going to put that one down. This reminds me of the Cabo 6 group. The Cabo 6. Okay, so that was the 45-minute recording from that. Let's go back to the video itself. I mean, the live stream itself. They're out right now, but I know they had day 3. I'm just seeing, she said, I gather that he just don't want to have anything to do with it. Oh, you think that he doesn't want to have anything to do with it? You think that's what it is? I think I want to go back to, we heard that there was no drugs tested. Now, as far as the text message, did y'all get anything out of that? I really didn't get anything, but we didn't listen to the entire thing. But I didn't get anything out of the text messages, but I am interested in hearing what the defense said to the guy. So I am going to rewind it to go back. Oh, it looked like they may have had, what is going on right here? Let's see what's going on right here. Because it looked like they may have had some testimony about what was on that camera. Hold on. She said, if not guilty, he is very selfish. Why would you go out instead of to the hospital? Wait a minute, Celeste. When you say, why would you go out instead of the hospital? Wait a minute, which one do you think is on trial? That guy that just was just speaking, he's not on trial. He's not the one that Celeste, were you here yesterday? In the text message, Blaise admitted he doesn't want a baby. Yeah, but admitting that you don't want a baby, is that saying that you don't want a baby, and does that equate to wanting to unalive? But Celeste, you said if not guilty, then he is selfish because why did he go out instead of going to the hospital? But he didn't go to the hospital. He followed the ambulance to the hospital. Where are you getting that he didn't go to the hospital? Let me know where you're getting that at, Celeste, that he didn't go to the hospital. Let's see what's on this camera right here, though. Let's go back and see what's on this camera.
And that's indicating that motion was detected with that. Yes.
And are you
out to the camera, trying to access it during that attempted.
Oh, okay. You say I'm not talking about Blaise. Okay, all right. I get you. You saying that he's selfish because he still went out even though there was a situation, but he didn't really know her though. He didn't really know her. I don't know if, if that would have, because she wasn't pronounced dead or anything. She just went to the hospital. I don't know if that would stop somebody's plans because somebody got rushed to the hospital. I don't know. What do y'all think? Would that change your plans if someone that you barely know, but best friends of your friend, if they got rushed to the hospital, are you still going out, or are you going to change your plans because your best friend got rushed to the hospital? Y'all let me know.
Communication via the internet with the device, it continuously showed offline.
And what's the next date after the 2/22/23? Where there was anything in this Phoenix iPhone related to that camera?
The next date is 2/26/23 at 7:08 p.m. And that's indicating that motion was detected with that camera.
And the next page, which is on 17, can you describe what it showed?
Again, it's further detail into that is on the.
I want to go.
So if you're mine,
I want to see if I can go to the text messages that says that he didn't want the baby. Hold on. So she says on this one, hold on, let me go back a little bit more. Well, we'll go back in a minute. Well, here's one. I think we might as well cut off the communication or whatever between us, because we can't keep opening and closing this door when I've made the decision. You said how you felt and what you do and don't want, and I respect it, and I will not involve you at any point. My appointment is the 16th, so if your mind changes on anything, feel free to reach out at any time. But other than that, I feel like we will just be running in circles, continuing to communicate. I think that we might as well cut off the communication or whatever between us, because we can't keep opening and closing this door. Okay, it's the same thing. So these are the text messages where I guess he's telling her that he did not want the baby. Okay, hold on. Let's go back a little bit. I don't think saying that you don't want a baby, meaning that you will, that's justifications for unaliving someone or trying to get rid of the baby. This one says, after multiple conversations, I think it's best that we go ahead and cut the ties and communication between us. Okay, it's the same thing. So she sent that on November the 6th. Oh, wait a minute. Have a great rest of your day, Blaise. Oh, it says we can't keep going back. We can't keep opening and closing this door, and I've made the decision I have. We will continue to run in circles of communication about the situation when we know we are not in agreements with the situation. You said how you felt and stated that moving forward, you want no part. So I will let it be just that. I will not involve you at any point. I will love this child unconditionally, with or without you. I inform you that my appointment is on the 16th. So if your mind changes between now and then, the choice is yours to show up or not. So with that being said, there's nothing left for me to say. Have a great rest of your day, Blaise. I think that's mature for a 25-year-old to write, or 24 at the time. So she wrote this on November the 6th, right? And allegedly the incident happened on February the 25th or 26th, one of them. All right, hold on. Let's see what they're saying.
that is on the 16th. So if your mind changes between now and then, the choice is yours to show up or not.
Did you specifically kind of look at any contact that they would have had during that time frame?
Yes.
And specifically, did you look at Jade's activity during that specific time frame?
Yes.
And to the next few slides, kind of focus in on things related to her and her actual pregnancy.
Yes, it does.
And this next page, which is 79, can you describe what is shown here?
Yes, these are a series of calendar entries that were on her device, and then just below that, a series of text confirmation that you would typically receive from like a doctor's office or something along those lines, confirming the dates and times of those appointments that were listed above, of some of the appointments that were listed above, I should say.
And the next page is 80, which is kind of a zoomed in image of a portion.
So they're trying to say the motive of him telling her that he doesn't want the baby was motive for him to slip her cocaine.
The previous slide, can you read into the record the dates of these appointments?
Yes, the titled doctor appointment at Vanderbilt Women's. Yes, it is showing Jade walking out of the appointment, seemingly pretty excited to the point of having to remove her mask to show her smile.
And is that video on the disc as well?
Yes.
And the next page, 85, is a duplicate of the previous page. Can you describe, these are all of the appointments that she has, correct?
As they relate to the pregnancy, it's not every appointment that she had in her calendar.
Okay. And that little Sprouts event, was there additional information on her phone about that?
I don't recall if there was.
Is it possible there were messages that related specifically to that?
Yes, there were. I'm sorry. Yes.
And that was scheduled to occur on March 21st, is
Yeah.
that right?
Yes.
And this next page is 86. Can you describe what's shown here?
Yes, Jade had created 2 boards on her Pinterest account, one titled Baby Nurse.
So right here, it looks like they're trying to prove that she was really, again, really excited about the baby coming. And apparently that Blaise was not. I'm going to fast forward a little bit because, you know, it just goes through a whole bunch of, she was so excited. Let's go to redirect. Well, not redirect, but cross-examination.
A page, is that what?
Right.
Stephanie and Texas Miller.
Now, have that been proven? Have you seen a text where he asked someone to buy a pill, or is it still hearsay? Let me know if it was in writing where he asked someone to buy a pill, or did that come from the ex-girlfriend said that he asked her?
It's fair to say, and I think probably won't be a shock to this jury, that there's an absolutely tremendous amount of information on a cellular phone, right?
Yes.
And you described a little bit of this during your testimony, but the way you conduct a review of the cell phone is you're not just kind of scrolling through information, right?
To an extent, that's what you're doing, but there is somewhat of a method to the madness.
So you referenced search terms, right?
That's one of the things we use, yes.
Okay. So you sit down with somebody and come up with a set of terms to help you kind of focus in on places to look on a phone?
It's one way we do it, yes, sir.
And in this case, was Detective Reese the person you sat down with?
Yes. One of the people, yes.
Who were the other people you worked with?
General Norman.
Okay. So you and Mr. Norman and Detective Reese at various points in time worked together to come up with terms?
Correct.
In addition to search terms, what are the other ways that you'll look through a phone?
So, having looked through a number of devices, I know where a lot of information resides inside of certain databases. So there's a number of repositories that I go directly to right off the bat that I find different things. Again, it's hard to say exactly in this order. It's hard to say it's the same for every single crime because not all of them are going to be the same. So all investigations are different. So I would have to say that the ways that I search through phones and analyze the evidence that we have extracted is going to be.
I'm not going to put y'all through this boring testimony right here. I'm going to give y'all the meat and potatoes of what came out of this one. Hold on one second. Because he is so boring. I like the spicy ones. That's Detective Miller, right? Detective. I want the short version of what was the basis of his testimony. All right, so it looks that he testified to, I think that's Detective Miller. Oh, he's not a detective. He is a phone forensics. Okay, he wasn't, is he a detective? I thought he was a damn detective. Oh, the digital forensic expert. Okay. So the basis of his testimony, you guys, was that he showed the jurors photos from Jade's phone that prosecutors say showed that she was excited about the pregnancy, including pictures of her working out, drinking mocktails, and preparing for motherhood. Also, text messages between Jade and Blaise. One major text shown to the jury was from Jade to Blaise about 3 months before her death. She wrote, "You said how you felt and stated that moving forward, you want no parts. So I will let it be that. I will not involve you at any point. I love this child unconditionally with or without you." Number 3, he also revealed the relationship/pregnancy timeline. His testimony helped the state lay out that Jade was pregnant, that Blaise initially did not want the child, and that the relationship later resumed in January of 2023, right before the February 25, 2023 incident. So it says that prosecutors is saying Jade and Blaise planned a date night, had dinner. 2 friends stopped by, and Jade she overdosed about an hour after those friends left. So again, Detective Miller was he was not the toxicology witness. He was the phone forensic witness. His job was to show the jury what was on Jade's phone: photos, text messages, pregnancy timeline, and messages between her and Blaise. The state is using this to show motive, that Blaise did not want the baby, while also showing that Jade was excited and planning to be a mother. So the Blaise not wanting the baby is the motive for giving her that amount of cocaine. Now, the defense angle can come back and say the phone evidence may show relationship problems or motive, but it does not by itself show or prove that Blaise put cocaine in her drink. Now, it helps the state tell a story that, connects the story to actual alleging the poison. Okay, he didn't want the baby, he wanted to get rid of the baby. Well, no, he didn't want to get rid of the baby, but he didn't want the baby and he didn't want to have anything to do with the baby. However, it does not connect the dots of who gave her or administered her cocaine. Thank you, Yasmin. So that's the gist of his testimony, you guys. Let me see who else testified today. She seems like a very neat person, unless they cleaned up after she left. So I'm showing you here a picture of, let me see if I could take a closer up picture of that. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say this is the same cup that they left behind, is it not? Let me see. Is that supposed to be the pink drink? Let me hear what he has to say about this pink drink. Oh, I think I did hear that. He did. He took that cup and it was not found with no cocaine. Yeah. So he did. That's the guy that we heard his testimony already. He took that cup and it was not found with cocaine. And the state tried to say rinsing it out with bubbly, soapy, warm water would get rid of the drugs, you know, the residue of the drugs. So with what we've heard so far, you guys, for today, day 3, we're not done yet. We still got to go into day 4. How do you stand? How do you stand? Now, I was reading the comments of some people in the as the trial was going on Court TV, and they were saying the first 2 days they thought that he was guilty, but now they are changing their mind. What about you guys? Do anybody still think that Blaise is guilty of trying to unalive her? Well, not even guilty of trying, but unaliving her and the baby. Does anybody? While I'm over here eating cashews. Do anybody think that this points to Blaise in any way? And if you do, explain to me how. Marley says, nope. Nope. Rita says, no, I think the friend did it. Which friend? The male or the female? Which one you think did it? The male or the female? Lisa says, I don't think he did it. Or I don't think he's guilty. Yeah, you know, just because you don't want to, a man don't want to have a baby, that does not prove that he unalived the child. I just don't think so. I don't think that. I think they need more than that. If he's guilty, the prosecution did not prove their case. Exactly. And I'm glad you said that, Kimberly, because it is not always if you did it or not, right? It's not always if you did it or not. It's whether the state, the prosecutor, can prove that you did it. That's what these court cases are about. And that should let you know right there that some people are sitting in prison innocent and some people are out here walking in the world that's guilty as hell. And it's all about what the state was able to prove. She said, I need to hear more. Too early for me to tell. You think so, Celeste? What have you heard so far that, you know, have you thinking he could have possibly did it? You think the female, but he knows. So you think the female has something to do with it? And you think that Keontae knows what happened? Is that what you're thinking? Well, we're going to end this live, you guys. And for the day anyway, we're going to come back tomorrow. But I want to go over, not on this live, and the reason being is because I don't want to mix the two. But give me a second because Ari responded to the, the Supreme Court asking for Holly to come home early. Like, why wait till the 16th? Hold on. I know I put it in already, but where is it? Hold on. That's going to be my next live. What time is it? Oh, we right on time in 15 minutes. I'm going to come at 7 and we're going to break down Holly. It's easy. It's simple. It's nothing. It's only 6 pages, I think. Let me see. Yeah, it's 6 pages. Actually, it's not even 6 pages. It's only a page and a half. Well, maybe 3. 3 pages of information. She said, hear me out, y'all. She would have been able to taste the cocaine in her drink, right? What if she was actually indulging willfully, but then realized it was lace and that's why she called her friend? I would think that you should be able to taste the cocaine. I don't think that that's what the defense is saying. The defense is saying is no way that she would have been able to consume that without knowing. I'm going to ask ChatGPT that right quick. Would a reasonable person know that they are consuming a large level of cocaine out of their drink while they are drinking it? Wouldn't they know that? Wouldn't it be so overpowering that they would know if they're mixing it with lemonade? Or she had to be of her mind not to know that she was drinking that much damn cocaine. All right, let's listen to what chat has to say.
I'll answer this carefully because it matters for trial analysis. Taste, dose, mixing, and the person's condition all matter. And they would definitely know it's not always safe to assume. Yes, a reasonable person might notice something is wrong because cocaine is commonly described as bitter, salty, and numbing to the tongue or lips. Medical drug references describe cocaine as a local anesthetic that causes numbness in the mouth, and sources describe its taste as bitter or slightly bitter. But I would not say they absolutely would know they were consuming a large level of cocaine just from drinking lemonade. That depends on several things. Why they might notice. A large amount could make the drink taste unusually bitter, chemical, salty, or off. It could cause mouth, tongue, lip numbness. Lemonade is sweet and acidic, but it may not fully hide a strong, bitter, numbing substance. If the person is alert and paying attention, they may say, "This tastes weird," or stop drinking. Why they might not immediately know. They may not know what cocaine tastes like, so they may think the lemonade is spoiled, too strong, mixed wrong, or has alcohol medicine in it. Sweet lemonade can mask bitterness somewhat. If they are thirsty, distracted, nauseated, pregnant, sick, drinking through a straw, or taking small sips over time, they may not register it right away. Once symptoms start, confusion, panic, nausea, sweating, rapid heartbeat, or distress could make it harder to identify what happened. Cocaine toxicity can cause serious stimulant effects and medical instability. So for your trial breakdown, I'd frame it like this. The defense may argue that a large amount of cocaine in lemonade should have tasted bitter or caused mouth numbness, making it hard to believe she unknowingly drank a lot of it. But the prosecution may argue that noticing an odd taste is not the same as knowing it was cocaine, especially if the drink was sweet, acidic, mixed, or she did not recognize the taste. The stronger question is not just would she taste it, it's would she taste it, recognize it as cocaine, and stop drinking before consuming enough to cause toxic levels. Those are three different things.
Okay, so I have another question. If the state was unable to recover any glass or bottle that test positive for any type of drugs, then how can they build a case saying that Blaise administered her cocaine and responsible for her death if the cups were never recovered? Let's find out.
Break this down as a prosecution versus defense proof issue, not as a conclusion of guilt. The missing cup matters a lot, but it does not automatically make the case impossible. They can still build a circumstantial case, but the missing cup bottle is a major defense point because it leaves a gap in the direct physical proof. A prosecution case does not always need the actual cup that tested positive. They can argue the case through a chain of circumstantial evidence. 1. Toxicology. They would rely on Jade's toxicology showing cocaine at a level they say was not consistent with normal recreational use. Reports say prosecutors are presenting toxicology as a central piece of the case, and prior reporting said the medical examiner viewed the level as lethal, not recreational. 2. Her alleged statement. The state can use testimony that Jade said something like, "You put something in my drink," or "My drink tasted funny." That becomes very important because it links the drug theory to a drink and to Blaise, even without the cup. WSMV reported that a friend testified Jade said Taylor put something in her drink, and newer trial reporting says prosecutors described Jade accusing him shortly before she became unresponsive. 3. Opportunity. They can argue Blaise was with her during the relevant time. He had access to the drinks/apartment, and he was the person present when she became critically ill. 2. Motive. Prosecutors can argue he had a motive connected to the pregnancy and not wanting the baby. That does not prove he did it by itself, but motive can help the state explain why he allegedly would. 3. Scene evidence photos. Trial reporting says investigators photographed drink bottles and glasses on the kitchen counter and took certain bottles, glasses into evidence. But if the actual cup she allegedly drank from was not recovered or did not test positive, that becomes a big hole for the defense. So yes, the state can legally build a case without the recovered cup, but the defense can hammer this hard. Where is the poison drink? Where is the cup that tested positive? Where is the cocaine residue in the apartment? How do we know when and how the cocaine entered her body? How do we know Blaise administered it instead of some other source? For your live stream, I'd say it like this. The state doesn't have to produce the exact cup to convict, but without it, they need the jury to connect the dots through toxicology, Jade's alleged statements, opportunity, motive, and timing. The defense's strongest argument is that the state is asking the jury to accept a poisoning theory without the actual poisoned cup, bottle, or residue proving where the cocaine came from. That is where reasonable doubt can come in. The missing cup does not destroy the case automatically, but it makes the case much more dependent on whether the jury trusts the witness statements, toxicology, timing, and motive evidence.
Okay, what about the 4 people that went over before the scene was processed, the crime scene was processed by a detective? 4 people went over there, moved some things around, took some things away, and they call themselves secure and took photos and securing the apartment before the police ever reached there. I think that's going to be the biggest thing that the defense is going to be able to use, in my opinion, where they're not going to be able to, blame it on him because you had other people that touched things.
That detail is important because it goes directly to scene contamination, chain of custody, and whether the state can confidently say what was or wasn't in the apartment before police got there. I'll separate what it means legally from how you can explain it to your audience. Yes, that is a serious weakness for the state, especially in a poisoning case where the alleged delivery method was a drink. What you're describing means the defense can argue this was not a preserved crime scene. Before detectives processed the apartment, multiple civilians entered, touched things, moved things, photographed things, and removed items. So how can the state say with confidence what was there, what was missing, what cup mattered, or whether evidence was altered? WSMV reported that the trial included testimony about evidence from Jade Benning's apartment and that the defense is challenging the investigation and handling of the scene. Another report said a detective testified the apartment became a contaminated scene after friends entered before investigators could fully process it. The defense can use those 4 people in several ways. 1, contamination. If people went in before police, the defense can say the scene was no longer clean. Even if they had good intentions, they could have touched cups, bottles, counters, cameras, food, bags, or trash. 2, missing evidence. If items were taken out before police got there, the defense can ask, what exactly was removed? Where did it go? Was it ever tested? Could the actual cup or bottle have been among the items moved or removed? 3. Chain of custody problems. The state needs to show evidence was collected, preserved, tested, and connected to the case in a reliable way. If civilians handled items first, the defense can attack whether the evidence still represents the original scene. 4. Alternative explanations. The defense can argue the apartment does not prove Blaise administered cocaine because the scene was disturbed before law enforcement could document it properly. 5. Credibility of witnesses. If one of those people is also a key witness, especially someone who says Jade accused Blaise, the defense can argue that person is emotionally involved, had access to the scene, and affected the evidence before detectives could secure it. Now, the state will likely respond like this. Yes, people entered the apartment, but that does not erase Jade's toxicology, her alleged statements, the 911 call, the timing, Blaise's presence, and the items investigators did collect. Investigators reportedly took certain drink items into evidence, including bottles and glasses from the kitchen counter, and prosecutors are using those items as part of the timeline and poisoning theory. But if none of those items tested positive for drugs, or if the alleged drinking cup was never recovered, that gives the defense a strong argument. For your live stream, you can say, the state's problem is not just that the cup is missing. The bigger issue is that the apartment was entered by multiple people before detectives processed it. Items were moved, items may have been removed, and the scene was not frozen in time. That gives the defense room to argue reasonable doubt because we do not know whether the evidence collected by police truly reflects what was in that apartment when Jade became sick. But be fair and add this. A contaminated scene does not automatically mean Blaise is innocent. It means the state has to rely more heavily on toxicology, witness testimony, timing, motive, and circumstantial evidence. And the jury has to decide whether that is enough beyond a reasonable doubt.
Okay, that's where we are right now, y'all. That's where we are. That's where we are. Right now, there's no cup with the drugs. There was no items that left that house that indicated there was drugs. Oh, let me ask right quick. Was the blanket and washcloth tested for drugs? Did it come up with drugs on it? Give me a sec.
I'll verify this against current trial reporting because the answer depends on whether those specific items were actually collected and tested, not just mentioned in testimony. From the reporting I found, I do not see confirmation that the blanket, comforter, or washcloth tested positive for cocaine or any drug. What has been reported is this. The defense argued that some evidence was not collected, including Jade's vomit on a comforter. WSMV reported that Sagani Ash James Smith testified, while the defense challenged the investigation and evidence collection. And the article specifically says the defense argued that some evidence was not collected, including Benning's vomit found on a comforter. WSMV also reported that family friend Stephanie Franklin testified she went to the apartment the next day at the request of Jade's mother and took items from the home, including the blanket Benning vomited on, while also taking photos, videos of the apartment. So based on the available reporting, the issue appears to be that the blanket comforter with vomit was removed by a civilian and was not properly collected by police at the scene, not that it was tested and came back positive. For your coverage, I'd phrase it like this. As of the reporting I found, there is no clear public confirmation that the blanket or washcloth tested positive for cocaine. What we do know is the defense is making a big deal out of the vomit-stained comforter not being collected as evidence. And a family friend testified she removed the blanket from the apartment before police had fully processed the scene. That is a strong defense point, because if Jade vomited after allegedly drinking the spiked lemonade, that comforter could have been important evidence to test. If it wasn't preserved properly, the defense can argue the state lost a chance to prove or disprove the poisoning theory.
I didn't know that they didn't do that. She said one of the 4 people took the blanket. They took the blanket, but I thought they passed it over to the detective. I thought they gave the detective the blanket, you guys. I thought they did. I thought they said, hold on, let me say that. Didn't one of the detectives testify that he did take ownership of the blanket at some point?
It's a good catch. I'm going to check the latest reporting because there may be a distinction between a civilian removing the blanket first and detectives later taking ownership of it. Yes, that may be what happened, but the key distinction is when and how detectives got it. From the public reporting I found, the blanket comforter was first handled by civilians. Family friend Stephanie Franklin testified she went to Jade's apartment the next day at Jade's mother's request, took items from the home, including the blanket Jade vomited on, and took videos before police had fully processed the apartment. WSMV also reported the defense argued that some evidence was not collected, including vomit on a comforter. So if a detective later testified that he took ownership or took custody of the blanket, that would likely mean the blanket may have eventually made it into law enforcement custody, but not from the original untouched crime scene. That still leaves the defense with a strong argument. You did not collect this blanket from the apartment when the scene was fresh. A civilian removed it first. So how do we know it wasn't moved, contaminated, washed, handled, bagged wrong, exposed to other substances, or missing trace evidence before detectives received it? That does not mean the blanket becomes useless automatically, but it does weaken the clean chain of custody because the state would need to explain who removed the blanket, where was it kept, was it bagged or preserved properly, who touched it, when did detectives take custody, was it tested for cocaine or other substances, what were the test results? For your live stream, I'd say it this way. Even if a detective later took ownership of the blanket, the defense can still argue the damage was already done because police did not recover it directly from the apartment before civilians handled and removed it. That turns the blanket into a chain of custody issue, not clean crime scene evidence. And unless there is testimony showing it tested positive, I would avoid saying the blanket had drugs on it. The safer wording is, as far as public reporting shows, the issue is not that the blanket tested positive. The issue is that it may have been important evidence because Jade vomited on it, but it was removed by civilians before police had control of it.
Type thing in it.
All right, I'm going to ask ChatGPT about the message. Hold on. So apparently Jade sent Blaise a text message, saying that they should call off the relationship or go their own separate ways since he did not want to move forward with her having a baby and didn't want to have anything to do with it. How would that be used against him? Let me see if I can get the message. Let me see if I can get the message and put it up in here.
Yes, that text could be very important, even though it does not prove by itself that Blaise poisoned her. The state would likely use it to argue. 1, he knew the relationship and baby issue were becoming real. If Jade texted him saying they should separate because he did not want to move forward with the baby, prosecutors can argue this shows conflict, pressure, and a turning point in the relationship. Number 2, it supports motive. The state's theory is that he allegedly poisoned her because he did not want the baby fatherhood. Trial reporting says prosecutors are arguing Taylor killed Benning to avoid fatherhood, while the defense says he was supportive and points to other explanations. 3, it could show state of mind. That text may help prosecutors say this was not random. This was not a sudden mystery overdose. There was a known disagreement about the pregnancy, and Jade had directly confronted him about it. 4, it backs up Jade's alleged accusation. Reports say Jade allegedly accused Taylor of putting something in her drink because he did not want the baby, and her friend testified about Jade saying her drink tasted funny, that he poisoned her to harm the baby. So the state may argue the earlier text and the alleged final accusation line up. Same issue, same conflict, same alleged motive. But the defense can push back hard. A breakup text is not murder. Couples argue. People disagree about pregnancy, relationships, and future plans all the time. That does not mean he poisoned her. They may also argue, if Jade was ready to go separate ways, that gave him a nonviolent way out. The state is asking the jury to jump from relationship conflict to intentional poisoning without the actual poison cup or bottle. So for your live stream, I'd frame it like this. That text helps the state with motive. It gives prosecutors a reason to argue Blaise had pressure on him and a reason to want the pregnancy gone. But motive is not the same as proof. The jury still has to decide whether the state connected that motive to the actual act. Meaning, did he administer cocaine? How did he administer it? Where is the poison drink? And does the timeline prove it beyond a reasonable doubt? The text is damaging because it gives the state a story: pregnancy conflict, relationship tension, alleged drink poisoning, Jade's accusation. But the defense will say the state still has to prove the missing middle, the actual act of poisoning.
Okay, so I just put the text messages, I uploaded them in there, and let's just read what it says.
Yes, these text messages would be very useful for the state, but they also give the defense something to work with. What the messages show is that Jade was telling Blaise, "You said moving forward you want no parts. I will not involve you at any point. I will love this child unconditionally with or without you. My appointment is the 16th. If your mind changes, the choice is yours to show up or not." For the state, that helps them argue motive. Blaise allegedly did not want to be involved with the pregnancy or child. Jade was making it clear she was moving forward anyway, and she was cutting off communication because they were not in agreement. So prosecutors can say this text shows he had a problem he could not control. She was keeping the baby with or without him. That is stronger than a regular breakup text because this is not just "we're done." It connects directly to the pregnancy and his alleged desire to have no parts moving forward. But for the defense, they can argue the opposite. This text gave him exactly what he wanted. She told him she would not involve him, and he did not have to show up. So why would he need to poison her if she was already telling him she would leave him alone and raise the child without him? That is a real defense argument. So the way I would break it down on your live stream is, this text cuts both ways. The state will say it shows motive because Jade was pregnant, moving forward with the baby, and Blaise allegedly wanted no part of it. But the defense can argue this text actually reduces motive because Jade was telling him he did not have to be involved. The key question is whether the jury sees this as pressure on Blaise or as Jade giving him an exit. The most damaging line for Blaise, in my opinion, is, "You said, moving forward, you want no parts." Because that gives the state a clean way to argue he did not want the baby situation attached to him. But the strongest defense line is, "I will not involve you at any point," because the defense can say she was giving him a way out without violence.
Okay, so y'all hear that, right? It could go both ways. The text message could actually go both ways. But he reached out to her after that, because that was in November. They reconnected in January, and then in February, they had a date night. So they had already reconnected for about a month before the date night incident happened, okay? So we're going to leave it off here because I want to go back live and pick up and just briefly talk about the Holly and Ari situation that she's asking the Supreme Court to bring Holly home sooner. Thank you so much, Barbara. Thank everybody that poured into this live stream. I do appreciate you guys to the fullest. We did meet halfway our goal. We didn't do the whole 50 super chats, but we got 26 super chats. That's almost halfway, you guys. That's almost halfway. So thank y'all. I do appreciate it. He didn't want to be on child support. He didn't want to be on child support. So you think he unalived her because he didn't want to be on child support? Thank you, Nell. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Cutesy Bootsy. She said super chat party. Thank you, Brown Eyes, for being the first one. Slap your mammy. Hey, more in chat. Just getting home from work. We'll watch the replay. Thank you, darling. Thank you, Tawana Featherston, showing some love to my favorite blogger. Appreciate you. Thank you, Lavette. Super chat party. Super chat party. Thank you so very much. Thank you, J. Lou. Thank you, Toya. Thank you, Black. Look, Toya said he lying. He lying. Thank you, Black Beauty. Thank you, Dupu. Binkity Bink, Binkity Bink. Black Beauty. Celeste Turner. Candy Girl. She said, let's support by sending a super chat. Loud Talkers. Remember, Amore is bringing us video directly from the court. So unfortunately, this live isn't monetized. $1.99 super chat party. Let's go. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Proud Loud Talker. Thank you, J-Lu. Man, what the hell went on in that apartment? Girl, a whole lot. You hear me? Thank you, Proud Loud Talker. Thank you, Tevis Joyce. Thank you, Lavette. Again, support. Let's run it up, y'all. Thank you, Nico. Hey, more mods in chat. Thank you, girl. Thank you, Barbara Clark, showing some love. Thank you, Big Sis. Glenn, hey, more mods in chat, sisters. Thank you. Thank you, Ray Sean. She said, I hope Ari eat witness number 3 up the same way. Oh, she is. And thank you for those 5 months. But baby, I think Ari is going, ooh, baby. When I tell you Ari gonna eat, I can't wait to that trial. You hear me? I mean, I can, but it's coming, y'all. But I'm definitely, ooh, child, I'm definitely gonna be all up in it, baby. Call me Bennett, child. You hear me? So thank you again. She said they need to charge the 4 people who tampered with the scene and throw this trial out. Oh, I wonder, can they charge them? I'm gonna ask in a minute. I'm gonna ask, can they be charged? Thank you, Beverly, on my lunch break, checking in, enjoying the commentary. Thank you so much. Thank you, Black Beauty, again, and Yasmin and Shanita. Thank you, QC Bootsy. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Nell. And thank you, Carla White. So we didn't reach our goal for today, so we can't do the goal met, but hopefully another day, y'all, another day. So thank y'all for coming through. I know everybody don't like this type of commentary because it ain't drama. We ain't cussing each other out. We ain't throwing spitballs back and forth. We are just breaking down, a court case in real life. I know this does not interest everybody, and I'm not going to do this. Is not going to be my only commentary, so I just want y'all to know that. But I am interested in some of these cases and how it's ran and how they get to a guilty verdict. Because sometimes, like I said, a person could be totally innocent and still be found guilty. Look, we just saw what happened with Carmelo Anthony, right? It could be, or we could think that they should get a lower, conviction or lower sentence, and they get the book thrown at them. So it's just interesting how, they come up with these theories and, how they get to the guilty verdict and the conviction. So that's why I wanted to cover it. So I know these live streams are not going to be fully packed, and I know that, we're not going to have a lot of support because some people probably think it's boring. I'm going to try to make it a little bit more entertaining. There are other content creators that do trial watches, and they be having thousands and thousands of people in their chat because a lot of people love this. So I know that I'll get there, just not right now. You know what I'm saying? We got to crawl before we can walk. So, but thank y'all for the ones that do enjoy this type of commentary and gonna take this ride with me. All right, I do appreciate y'all. Now, with that being said, we are gonna end this live stream and we are going to talk about the Holly and Ari going up to the Supreme Court asking, bring Holly home. Can Holly come home early? This don't make no sense. So we're gonna talk about that on the next live. Okay, y'all? She said, I love court cases. Yes, I do too. QC said, you are doing an amazing job, Amore. Thank you so very much. And y'all know, let me just say this, because I just want to say this because some of y'all are not my day ones. We've been here before where we got out of the nasty saga. We let those people just, drown in their own misery or whatever. And they're not going to stop. I guarantee you. I was talking to Lavette. I said, I bet you they'll be doing this in 6 months from now. They're going to be doing the same thing, regurgitating the same thing all over again. We just have to let them be. I mean, if y'all want to watch it for entertainment, you can, but I just prefer not to, and prefer not to even get in it no more. I want to do something different. So this is what I'm choosing to do, this, and I still would do other content, but not the throwing spitballs back and forth with each other. I don't, like I said multiple times, I don't want to have nothing to do with them. I want to be so far away from them. I don't even want people to know that I know them. I don't want people to know that I actually communicated with these people. That's how far away I want to be when it comes to them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's, people like to say, oh, it's been going on for 4 years. Well, I think, 5, 6 years from now or whatever, people going to still be hollering the same thing. They're going to be stressing over what Brianna looked like, stressing over what I look like, what my butt looked like, what house I live in, what pool I swim in, what my husband and my kids doing, what Brianna and her relationship and her kids doing. I guarantee you they're going to be on the same thing. But what I was getting ready to say is we've been here before. When I moved away from the drama before, I only had 60 people in my chat, y'all. 60 people in my chat. And we went up from there. So, you take a dip. Sometimes, you got to do that. Shake off the ones that don't want to move with you. They want to stick with the drama. And ain't nothing wrong with that. You can't fault nobody that want to stay with the drama. They want to be entertained with this person cussed this person out. I just don't want it. I just don't want to be in the mix of it. I ain't going to say I won't listen here and there, but I just don't want to be in the mix of, of that merry-go-round toxicity that they got going on. You got to understand that some people, this is just, this is their life. This is something that they've been doing all their life, and they will continue to do. Okay. She said, trust me, you'll be fine. Exactly. I know that too. Thank you, Binky Bink. She said, I love court cases. So yes. So, and we'll get better with them. I may do it like that the one that we just got finished watching. So what she does, she don't do it in real time. She actually will take pieces by piece and she'll just make it a little, a shorter live. Like she may just take one testimony and then just go live off of that one testimony. Would you guys like for me to do something like that instead of just doing, long lives, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours? Would you guys like for me to just break it down a little bit at a time, like the way she's doing it? Because hers is like 45-minute increments. What do you think? She said, I like a good laugh, but we are good over here. Yes, we are good over here, Sassy D. You hear me? She said, yes, I love court cases, and this is a good space to be with others to discuss it more. I love this. Thank you, Peaches. Thank you, thank you. She said, that's just like my sperm donor. It's all about not paying child support. Do what makes you comfortable. Yeah, I think it'd be better if we break it down. It may not be 45 minutes. We might do 90 minutes at a time or something like that or whatever, and then come back. I just think the 6 or 7 hours, y'all know I've always said that those type of lives don't do well unless I'm being tipped, only because people are not going to watch the entire lives, and then so the views is going to plummet. Okay? So, yeah, a little bit at a time here and there would be best. She said, whatever is best way for you is fine with me. Yeah. Like attorneys, they can do long lives. I've sat and watched the lead attorney do 11-hour live streams and stuff like that for streaming it in real time. I've seen him do that, but he has way more expertise than me. And so he's breaking down everything. And I mean everything, because he knows way more, So anyway, but let me get off because we're going to miss the opportunity to do the one for Ari and Holly. So anyway, y'all thumbs up this live stream. I love y'all. Thank y'all. And we'll talk in about 5 minutes. Talk to y'all soon. Bye, y'all.
Because they can't make $1 without mentioning down one of our names.
Yay! She kept talking about that family.
Hoes over there.
She kept talking about that family. 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 That family. She kept talking about that family. Talking about that family.
These motherfuckers got me want to regret something. Because they can't make $1 without mentioning down